Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose bright stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets rang the bombs bursting in gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Welcome back to the Tim and Steve Show. I am Tim Beard.
And I'm Lydia Eurista.
You made it again,
Yes.
just before you have to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're going to the Cape today?
I don't know yet.
You don't know if you're going to the Cape today?
I don't know.
No?
Nope.
It's a secret?
It's a secret.
Oh,
You'll see. I'll send you a picture if I'm there.
You'll send me a picture as the sharks are trying to eat you?
Yeah. Your final goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
Shark bait. So what'd you do yesterday?
Yesterday.
Monday.
Oh, I did the show.
Yeah, we all know that because we watched it. Well, these people watched it. I didn't watch it. I apologize to you. It was a little late getting up because everything's messed up when Steve's gone. So Steve uploads the show to YouTube. I do the other stuff. Well, no Steve, that meant I brought this computer in his house to upload it, and my computer's a lot slower. And then, so it finally uploaded, and unfortunately, it was like 9 o'clock last night, and I was sitting at the select board meeting. I'm like, oh crap, I forgot to upload the show to Facebook, where I think most people actually go to get it versus going right to YouTube. So that's my bad. Steve's hoping to call in here in a few minutes because he's pretty heated about last night's selectmen's meeting. If you watched it, I would hope you're kind of heated too about some things. I wasn't very impressed with the way some things are handled. But in the meantime, until he calls in, we'll talk about
What I did last night.
what you did last night.
So I fed the animals.
Fed the animals, yeah.
Oh, they got a whole bunch of donuts.
That's right. You said that, yeah, you got donuts.
Yep. And then we took down more siding of our house.
Yeah.
We couldn't put anything up because the salsa stopped working.
Yeah, Mom said something
We
happened.
were just about to cut wood and then it just stopped.
How much siding you get off?
We got 2 of those silver things.
Oh,
Cardboard.
you took those things off?
Yeah.
All right, so I'll have to put those up later because it's supposed to rain tomorrow. But
Yeah.
that's good, though.
Mm-hmm.
So as we said yesterday, we're trying to take off the siding and the thin... I have to take a picture of that so people can see this because...
It's like, do you know, like the paper wrapping that goes around a house? That's what it is. But they didn't put like any... They're supposed to do plywood than that.
Yeah, it's like Tyvek, but this is like a cardboardy...
It's smaller than cardboard.
Yeah. It's thin.
And it has holes in it, so that's why they're so cold.
Yeah, and we don't want that, obviously. So
Obviously.
we're trying to put the foam insulation, well, I call it blue board. This isn't blue board. This is the stuff that's got the silver backing on it. It keeps you even warmer, but we're putting that in first. And then we're trying to, as long as the wall will let us do it, we're trying to keep the R19, which is for 6-inch walls, in there too. So that way it just stays really warm.
Yeah.
Because the place we're in now has a lot of downsides, but one of the upsides is it's extremely inexpensive to heat, like 2 tons of pellets a year, which is...
That's cheap. That's cheap.
Yeah, it is. And so we want this place to be as similar to that as possible, so we're doing the extra work. Plus, I mean, you found out that there's no plywood there. I can't believe they did. That's just crazy.
Yeah.
So it's not like it's cheap plywood. It's just there's no plywood. It's this thin 1/8 inch probably. Yeah, it's thin,
It's
real
small.
thin.
It's not even like almost. It's like not even almost an inch.
Yeah, it's teeny.
It's tiny.
So I'll have to take a picture of that later so we can show people the crazy.
Yeah. I was just gonna
crazy-
be double insulated,
Yeah, exactly.
so we're staying nice and warm.
That's what we're hoping, anyways. So we got over the weekend. We got one piece of plywood up, and then we're gonna change out the windows too.
Yeah. we'll have
Mom's
to
like,
do
well,
that.
we don't have the money to do that right now, but now's the time to do it because we have to take the wall down anyways.
Yours
So-
is gonna be the first one.
Yeah.
Because we are doing that. Yesterday.
Yeah, we have that window. I bought it for a job. I somehow totally got the wrong size, and so this will work. I'll have to make it a little bit smaller, but it'll work. So
Yeah.
it's pretty crazy. So you give the animals donuts, well, the pigs.
Pigs. Yeah.
Lots of donuts?
Lots of donuts, but we
Nice.
still have a lot left.
Oh, we do.
A lot.
Nice.
We have a whole bag left.
Awesome. Yeah, I can't say where we got donuts from, but we got donuts that were left over. So, yeah, if you're any place out there that has the leftover
Anything, bread.
food, bread, yeah, any of this stuff, anything but avocado or meat, I would love to pick it up because it will save us on grain, and then we could actually give the pigs more food. Now we just give them grain, but we had that with the market. When we had the market, it was
It was
perfect.
perfect.
Because all that extra food, but then with all the craziness in the world, it's not feasible to have a market anymore, unfortunately, because of inflation.
Inflation. But we give them our leftovers, which isn't much, but we
No,
still get some.
they get some here and there, right?
And when we clean out our refrigerator.
Yeah, they get, so once a week usually they'll get a bunch of
Food.
stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But that's pretty expensive because that's usually food we wasted, like, and fruits and vegetables. For some reason, are the most expensive foods to buy at the store,
Yeah.
even though they're what's best for you. But
Also, like leftover dinner that we never ate
yeah, if we have leftovers,
in the fridge.
if we go out and get, fast food, if there's fries, something left over, we like give them to the pigs.
Yeah, I was gonna throw them away the other day, and I was like, no.
Pigs eat all that stuff, so and they love it. And yeah,
Yeah. What'd you do yesterday night?
last night,
Yeah, before you went to the meeting.
let's see, soccer practice.
Oh, how'd that go?
Wasn't bad. It was 6 girls out of 10 that showed up. One that's on the list appears to be playing field hockey, which would be unfortunate because
She's good.
she's good, and
She's a good player.
soccer needs more girls. So if you're you have a middle school girl that would like to play soccer, or a boy, because the boys team could use some players too. But
Yeah.
the girls team seems to be the one that's really lacking players.
I bet I could get some of my friends to do it.
Yeah, I
I
probably
bet I
need to
could.
because you're going to need a few. You have to have at least 9,
9.
but that's with no subs. And you really want subs in soccer. That's
yeah.
45 minutes each half.
I mean,
of,
I said I would do it, but not fully. Like,
yeah, I worry that if you were to do it, like it's a lot on your ankle.
it's not
You're just
more
not
so a
ready
lot.
yet,
I'm just scared I'll get kicked. I'm
Yeah.
fine about running, but I just don't want to get kicked.
And there's a good chance you'll get, it's soccer. So.
Yeah, it's soccer. It's not on purpose.
And girls are really aggressive. It's actually, I was impressed watching girls soccer because
Paige is good. Paige is really
really
good.
aggressive,
She's
yeah.
aggressive.
There's some good players on the team that showed up yesterday that,
I feel like there's some 7th graders that will be really good.
yeah, there's some good players, and everyone there looks like they could run, and
Yeah, a lot of the players that are on the team have been playing since like rec league.
yeah, so that's
So-
good. Bree, who is Robert's daughter, Robert.
Yep.
who,
Yeah.
she's playing. He said that she doesn't know that this was middle school and not rec because she wanted to play rec. So it's like, all right, let's not tell her because she's good, she's fast, and she's in 6th grade and she's like your size.
Yeah, I know. I saw this.
It's crazy. Like,
She's really good at softball too. Her dad.
yeah,
She's good.
So
She's a good athlete.
there's
She's
a lot
gonna
of
be good when she's older.
yeah, there's a lot of prospect there, and it looks like the boys soccer team for the varsity is not going to happen. There's not enough players, so it looks like Caleb will be coaching the middle school, which will be good because
We need a
he can start them there, and then hopefully
him up.
next year we'll have enough to have a full varsity team. So
I think we will. We have a big class for us.
do you know how many in your class, 8th grade?
Like, I think like 80 or 90.
80 or 90
We have quite a bit. We have like 20 in each class.
in each one of the classes. Yeah. So yeah, hopefully it's tough though because kids nowadays are less and less apt to play sports.
A lot of my friends, like most of my friends, all play at least one sport.
It's important. Getting out, fresh air, playing as a team is important. Exercise is
Not
important.
arguing.
There's one girl on the team that's like she's very shy. She seems like, but I think she's going to be good. I can tell like just with her kicking the ball and stuff. She's like
I think I know who you're talking about.
yeah, and so hopefully I can get her to come out of her shell because her mom's like I'm trying to just push her to do something different, something that she's not comfortable with, which is great because
Is she in 8th grade this year?
nah, I think she's a little younger, maybe 7th.
Seventh?
I'm not sure.
She's probably, she's 7. Yeah, I think I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, but I saw her. I'm like, that girl. She's
A lot
just
of them
timid.
have potential, but they're just nervous.
Yeah,
Which, because some girls, like, they're scared of some 8th graders, which they shouldn't be because they're on the same team.
right. You're a team. You work together, and you look up to those 8th graders that have more experience in most cases. So it's just a learning process. But it's one of those things too. I mean, 6th, 7th, and 8th grade is a wide range of. If you're in 6th grade, your maturity level and stuff is way
Lower.
different than 8th grade. It's just
Yeah.
natural, and just like 8th graders, maturity level is gonna be a lot less than the high school. So
Yeah.
yeah, hopefully it'll work out. I'm sure it will.
It will. And if you don't have enough girls, the boys will play with you.
Yeah, which I think happened last year with the
The
boys. Some
We
girls
had
played
so
in
many
there.
girls last year.
Yeah,
It was a good team.
yeah.
Most of them were 8th graders, that's why. But now they're 9th, so we don't have them.
I know it's tough, isn't it? Like, and you can't bring them down. You can only bring them up. I mean, it'd be great if you could bring 9th and 10th graders down and play in middle school. But like,
I mean,
yeah,
some teams do. Some teams say they're 8th graders, but they're not. It happens
Yeah.
in basketball a lot. There's some varsity players on a different team playing for middle school playing us, which is pretty crazy.
that is crazy.
And their school goes along with it, which is crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy. So, you're doing cheerleading? Is that what your plan is so far?
So far.
So far,
Hopefully I like it. It's not as much movement as I'm used to because I like running.
yeah, I know you'll be bored with it in a way, but it might be a good way to get your ankle. So that way, hopefully, by basketball, you'll be like 100%.
I'm playing basketball,
Yeah.
no doubt.
It's tough, even at your age, to break your ankle like you did. It's a hard injury to come back from. You can obviously do it. You're young, but it's still tough to.
Yeah,
It's a lot to.
snap.
Well, yeah. You don't want to snap. No snapping ever again.
Hopefully.
Yeah. No. Don't be doing that. So one thing we talked about last night. We'll get into this a little bit, and then hopefully Steve will call in a few minutes. So the Apple Pie Festival, which is August 27th on the Common, it's all day. I think it's 9 to 3. But the school board will be out in front of the SAU from 9 to 3. I think we're taking turns or whatever. But they're giving away backpacks. And they've also got books, and they also have school supplies. So please come out, take advantage of this, especially anyone that just got their tax bill or anything, or the light bill that's now doubled in New Hampshire. Take advantage of this, take advantage of anything you can like this. This is important. I'm not a big, I won't go get you guys backpacks because I can afford to buy you backpacks, without a doubt. I know I can do that. But there's a lot of parents and stuff out there that, can't.
Need.
Anything about it. Backpacks now are, what, $40 probably?
Yeah, if you want nice.
They just...
$20 is the cheapest.
Cheap. Maybe it even might last a year. That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
When you now probably have a light bill. Well, our light bill is usually $300 a month.
Now it's like $600.
Now it'll be $600. So even if you were fortunate to have a $150 light bill, now it's $300.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're on a fixed income, or you are, you're working a job where you're making, $600 a week, That's
Not much.
So take advantage of this. I believe she said the superintendent said it was 250 backpacks. So that's quite a few backpacks.
That's a lot.
So that should cover a lot of kids. And I'm not sure what the school supplies are, but she said school supplies and a bunch of books too, which would be great. Reading is important, so
Yeah.
there'll be books there to check out as well. And then the Apple Pie Festival, anyways, has apple pies, which I've never really been, which is crazy because so they have a big book fair going on, or book sale or whatever, that benefits the library. Then they have the Apple Pie Festival.
Steve Morris.
Now, let's see if I make this work. Hello.
Hello.
All right, you're on the show.
Oh, is it working? You got me going through the old gigantic board there, the switchboard?
Yeah, it's working so far. We figured it out.
Yeah. I don't know how many bars I have. We've wasted like 20 minutes looking for a restroom. Nobody has public restrooms at the tail end of Vermont, so I think we're going to wait like 10 or 15 minutes till we get to Troy. Is it Troy, New York?
Yep. Yeah.
So anyway, so we're way behind schedule this morning.
You'd be all right. So you headed out this morning, early this morning.
Yeah.
And so you watched did you watch the whole Selectmen's meeting last night or just part of it?
I missed the first part with the school board.
Oh, okay.
So I missed the first part of it. So it sounds like there was a disagreement between what was said, though, from what I caught.
Yeah, I was pretty frustrated because Jim Burrows said that he talked to Chief Hunter and former Chief Wilmot and said that they had it all worked out in the schedule, wasn't an issue whatsoever. Hunter said, well, I talked to him today, Chief Hunter, and, it's not a done deal. And I said, well, so I find it interesting that for 150%, which is time and a half, and 75% of the benefits, even though they're only working 6 months of the year for the school, you don't have a staffing issue. But if it's 100% in the benefits or whatever, you do have a staffing issue. It's not a staffing issue. It's, hey, how can we take money from the school to put it in our budget so we can use it for what we want? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Hey, well, this is my observation as a town resident,
absolutely.
that everything that I have seen Hunter communicate on from that perspective is a math problem to him. He does not have, you could hear it as you listen to him, and I appreciate Mr. Spalding's words last night when he told him that, because Hunter kept interrupting everybody, and he was mocking the car show, the fireworks, and everything else, and they kept using the amount of millions of dollars, but it's a matter of 5 or 10% match, so we'd have to pay double to stay with the state. So everything's a money. There's no keep Newport with Hunter. It's a money problem. So everything's a mathematical equation. It doesn't matter, like handing over air control, of however you want to call it, of our airfield to the FAA, when the experts who are working down there, who are volunteering their time, repeatedly said it is a bad idea. You don't want them in your business. And he kept saying, well, I could talk to one person and they could have it. Okay, so he talked to one person and they say, oh, it'll be okay. But it's a bureaucracy. And he said, nobody dislikes bureaucracy more than me. That's not true, because if you dislike bureaucracy, you wouldn't be signing up for the FAA over what I understood from the way it was briefed, and I could be wrong. Yes, the FAA is, will provide, and you only got to pay 5% of whatever the costs are that they determine that you need to do. Whereas the state program, every 2 years you got to apply for it, then you might have to wait. So my whole thing is, just from that interaction alone, it's a money thing. It has nothing to do with keeping Newport. He mocked the fireworks, and I don't care. He can say, he tried to clean it up and say, I love Newport. No. he made it be known that everything's a money. It's an equation. There's no loyalty to Newport in the sense of we have traditions here, and people in our town love to keep the traditions alive. When you talk to people, they're like, I love Newport because this, and this. Now you're taking that away. You're chipping away at what makes Newport Newport, right? So, yeah, okay, they may not cancel us from having the car show and the fireworks, but now you got to go through legal jumps and hoops to fill out all this paperwork, and all it takes is one person in the bureaucracy who's not having a good day, or that's like, no, fireworks aren't allowed at airports, blah, 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 according to FAA rule number whatever, and then we lose that. And so now, yeah, we can adjust and find somewhere else, but you're not keeping Newport Newport. It's a math problem. And then that was visible on the entire selectmen board whenever the town reassessments were produced. Like, the silver lining is your house is worth more. No. This mathematical equation has now determined the value of my house more than what I would be able to list it for, because of whatever equation that they use. There's no human touch to it. It's all comps in your area show this much, which I don't know how they get that, because you can go log in to Redfin or Realtor.com or Zillow, put in my address on there, and the ridiculous amount that they estimated my house at is, I'll never be able to sell my house for that much. Not that I'm looking to sell it, but you have now, if there's an emergency and I do need to sell it, I'm not going to be able to sell it. It's not worth that much, and then you're going to be paying taxes on a house that's valued way more than what you could sell it for. And to sit there and say, don't call and complain that, you can't afford it or whatever else, like, that's not what I'm saying. It has nothing to do with affording it. It has everything to do with you're putting a value on my house that's not accurately reflected because of an algorithm that they use. I don't know if you can hear the car talking, so that's why I paused. But
You're fine.
that algorithm has now determined the value of my house with no real work done. They can't convince me. And I appreciate Mr. Brown taking responsibility for the poorly written last sentence where it says to figure out your taxes multiplied by 1974. Well, if he's doing that, why is he doing that? Why isn't the company that we're paying $100 and whatever thousand to do this for? Why is he having to do that?
Right.
I have so many questions that I wish I'd have been able. I was watching it through an app, so I couldn't raise my hand and get involved. But it is astonishing to me that people put money over anything else. And that was very clear in that entire meeting last night. And what really threw me off from a citizen's perspective, I'm talking as a citizen here, not because I didn't participate, when they were talking about it, Hunter said something along the lines of, you will have to vote to stop me from joining the FAA. So Hunter has the ability to change the designation of our airport without any input from the citizens or the Board of Selectmen. The audacity to think that, because now he may have been given authority to enter into contracts and negotiations, whatever else, but the way that he said that is very, very concerning for me as a citizen of Newport, that the town manager would talk to our Board of Selectmen in such a manner that they will have to stop him, because Mr. Spalding correctly pointed out that he's emotionally attached to this. And it was obvious in the way that he responded to every single person that talked about the concerns about joining up with the FAA. And that just really concerns me, that this man, who is a bureaucrat working on behalf of the town, would talk to the Board of Selectmen as if they work for him, and he lets them know what's going to be done unless they take a vote to stop him. That's set wrong with me, and he might have meant it some other way, and whatever else, you can make up excuses, but what was said, and anybody can go online and watch it, but it was very disconcerting. It's disconcerting for me as a taxpayer that the town manager would talk to the Board of Selectmen and they would allow him to talk to them like that. And it was said in a way that it wasn't like, hey guys, you know that you've given me the authority, and on that behalf, I've done this. He made it sound like you're gonna have to stop me, and like, yeah, that's the whole point of the discussion. It sounds like from the experts and the kind volunteers that we have, the professionals who are warning you, and then he just hand waved it away like, oh, well, your buddy's going to complain about his taxes when we have to tax for the airport. I'll pay taxes on the airport. I don't want to pay taxes on a house that's been overvalued, and it's not even like, I don't even understand where they came up with this value. Like, to double the value of my house, more than double it. Like, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, they have your property and house now assessed at $100,000, almost more than the Ruger Mansion sold for just a couple of years ago. And that was
exactly.
And that was like 100 acres of land. And in most cases, and I told this to Paul Brown last night, because obviously Paul felt bad because he's like, it's weird because he verified yours, because I'm like, well, Steve's went up 4,000 and it's like 3,800, so yeah, 4,000. No one else's in town seemed to make that much of a jump. Some might have been 1,000, but and if it went up a couple $100, we wouldn't even be complaining about it. But the fact that your property is now assessed at $750,000, you actually, and I told Paul last night, I said, here's the thing. In most cases, this wouldn't be true, but now in Steve's case, it's true. We could find a 20-acre lot that you have. We could build this house, the driveway, everything, for less than what they have it assessed at. So there's no way in hell you'd ever sell this place for that kind of money. There's no way.
Right, exactly.
There's just no way. Now, if they had it assessed at $500,000, okay, I say that's fair.
All right, yeah, all right. Then I'd be like, all right, that's
Sure.
closer.
But they have you. But this is the messed up thing with the whole thing to start with is. The value of your house is not supposed to be market value and a real estate market.
Right.
That is not how it works. But now we've been appraised at the highest real estate market since the crash in 2008, but it's higher even. It's higher. It's going to crash. I'm telling you right now, it's going to crash. Mark my words. The inflation's out of control. The interest rates are out of control. Like, they're raising. No one's going to buy a house in a couple months when they start to realize, wait, I want to pay 9% or 5% or 6% or whatever percent on this, plus my electrical is doubled, my gas is doubled what it was, like all these things.
Did we lose him?
I think we might have lost him. Steve? Well, we lost Steve. We'll see. We'll see if he calls back.
That was a good conversation.
It was. So it's hard to get Steve fired up on the show. It's hard to get him fired up because he
has way more.
He stays calm, but this has really got him going. So I'll use this. I don't blame him. No, I mean $4,000 a year. So we'll be paying basically $14,000 a year to the town to have this property. 14. So that's like $1,200 a month just for taxes, not including a mortgage, obviously, on the place. And then, here we go. I'm going to try again.
We got Steve back.
Railing, man. I was still going up.
Yeah, you'll get you back. So.
I didn't know I'd lost you. Zayden finally, when I took a breath, was like, you've been disconnected for like 30 seconds.
So, it's just crazy. And then for him to sit there and basically say, oh, the silver lining. You couldn't sell this place for what it's appraised at. And he made the smart, the remark last night. Oh, well, someone came in and said, well, you can buy my house for this. And he's like, okay, I'll buy it for this. And then they're like, well, no, I don't want to do that. And I'm like, dude, that's all BS. Really? Steve, call him up. Say, you can write me a check right now for $734,000 or whatever the hell it was.
Yeah, whatever it is.
Whatever
exactly.
It was. And see what he says. Because I'm pretty sure he'll be like, oh, yeah, no, I can't do that.
Yeah, exactly. Like, that's total. It was just insulting to me that they would, act like that this is a good thing, which, number one, I don't mind paying my fair share. I love Newport. I do, however, have a problem with them trying to equate the real estate value, the market value of my house with this whatever write-up they did. Like, what comp did they use? Because all the realtor websites take comps, and that's how they give an estimate to how much your house is. And my house is nowhere near what they're evaluating it as for tax purposes.
Exactly.
Like, if you go on and type in my address into Realtor or Redfin or Zillow, it is not anywhere near what their tax assessment is. And the thing that gets me is, you want me to pay that much taxes, then we need to get the school, right? Because if you're going to attract people that can spend that kind of money, like, then you need to have the best school in the state. You need to be up there in the top levels. Like, this is a tax rate, at least. So maybe I'm the anomaly, because you said Paul was like, whatever, which, okay, I'm the anomaly. But then they're like, don't call up and complain that you can't afford it. Well, number one, like $4,000 extra dollars a year, that's 300 some odd bucks a month extra that I got to like save up or pay towards my yearly taxes. Like, that's a big chunk of change. 300 when you're looking at gas now is $100 to fill up a tank, right? So before you could fill up 2 trips, 2 tanks for $100. Now I'm getting half my gas for the price that I was. Like, they're just ridiculous. Like, they're flippant. They don't know, like, I still can't get past the way that they let Hunter talk to them about the whole, you're going to have to vote to stop me. Like,
Right.
Who are you, guy? Like, you work at the pleasure of the board, I thought. Like,
Right. And that was weird, because last night it kind of didn't seem that way. You know what I'm saying? It was kind of like, Jeff starts the meeting on the defensive about something, which should never have happened, because that's just not the role of the board. Like, this is not what you do. That'd be like us starting public comment and saying, I want to talk about this situation. Well, normally public comment, the members of that board would talk during the board communication, not during public comment. So he automatically went on the defensive, and even Bert called him out for that. And then Hunter...
Was that about the SRO?
Yeah, the SRO. So, and once again, I want to go back to this. So... Hunter says apparently that Jim Burrows is lying. Hunter says that the police union was lying, or it was the police union when they were negotiating, because they would tell me that they come out of a meeting and had it worked out, and then the next thing they know, nope, Hunter's like, no, we don't have a deal. And so he basically called all these people liars last night, but the common theme is Hunter. So is everybody lying, or is Hunter lying? That's my real question. And you know what?
There's definitely a communication gap. Apparently, when anyone communicates with Hunter, everybody misunderstands what he says. Now, what is that statue doing out here in the middle of nowhere? That's odd. There's a big obelisk out here.
There's a big what?
Obelisk, like the monument, like the Washington Monument.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, out here in the middle of nowhere.
Huh.
Sounds like fun.
Interesting.
It's not fun.
No, my dad just made me cry because we were looking for a restroom.
How'd I make you cry?
Because there were everywhere we went to like 4 different gas stations, and then they didn't have, none of the 4 had a restroom.
Yeah, don't you love that when you're traveling and they're like, you go to a gas station, like, sorry, we don't have a public bathroom. I'm like,
Then why do you have a bathroom?
Yeah, like, what the heck? Like, I thought all stores had to have public bathrooms.
Well, I got...
the plumbing was broken.
Allegedly,
yes.
Told you,
And
you
the
should have
other
bought a
one
pack of gum.
wasn't... Well, I told them I'd buy something. One didn't have public. 2 of them didn't have public, and then my dad missed one that probably definitely had a public bathroom. It was
Definitely
like
my fault.
So did you find one?
Definitely.
Did you find one, though?
No, we're still trying to find.
Oh, no.
It's been like an hour.
Oh, you're still searching.
But we're not anywhere where I can hop out of the car right now. So.
You should have rented like a little RV or something. That way you could have had a bathroom, apparently.
I know.
Hopefully when you get out...
Or that my dad...
This is very unlike Zeta, by the way, because we were like traveling buddies when I was in the military. So we used to drive all over the country, and so now all of a sudden,
No, energy drinks.
3 hours into the drive, and she's
We got our last aroma Joe's that I can have for minutes, so.
Quite a while, right? Well, all right,
So,
guys. You
They make
you guys have a safe trip, and we'll touch base tomorrow on the show again. We'll see where you're at and see how your traveling has gone. And
And I do schedule to talk to those guys about my assessment because I want to see how they came up with this number.
yeah, make sure you.
And you know, they're like you can go on and see. There's not much to see there, by the way. It just tells you what buildings they have on your property and how much square footage they think it has, and they assign a value to it. There's not really a whole lot of, you know, information to discern how it jumped, you know, double the value of what it had, more than double. But anyway, it's a concern. And granted, if I'm the only guy in town that got a, you know, house all of a sudden that's worth more than the Ruger mansion with 100 acres, and I have nowhere near any of that.
Well, I can't wait to see what his tax bill is going to. Now, granted, the property when he bought it was still
Right.
valued.
It was undervalued.
It was when it sold, and we were surprised it sold for that. But the point is that I mean, and trust me, they gave me a sheet last night. I wish I brought it with me because overall assessment of the whole entire town, the whole town is up 66% or just shy of that. But residential as a whole, everybody is up overall as a whole, 89%. But real estate on commercial, so commercial real estate was down supposedly some here and there, which I don't figure that. So basically, Paul had said anything with a bed is up, and then anything like rail commercial may be down. But the overall valuation of the town went from 445 million to 700 and something million. I don't know. It don't. Someone else, like I said, one of our listeners messaged me and said that his is like.
Oh, go ahead.
Well, one of the listeners messaged me and said that his is more than like doubled, I believe, too. So, and then they're like, well, some places went down, and I'm like, I have a hard time believing that, which maybe, but 90.
Well, I'm pretty sure we were at a selectmen meeting when they were talking about remember we went, they did the 17 articles that were going to be up for discussion.
Yes.
At the deliberative, they had discussed that we're getting a reevaluation, and they said in their meeting that, your valuations may go up, but your tax rate's going to stay about the same. So granted, I get that was a generalization, but when it comes to me, say, well, we didn't, our did take a solemn vow on that or whatever, and they're doing political gamesmanship. However, they're liars. Like, mine went up tremendously. Like you said, if it had gone up, and all right, I got to spend a little bit more extra money, whatever, but like, you have like $4,000 roughly.
Right.
And they said it's going to be more. It'll probably be $4,000 because they're like, it's going to be more like $21.
Right. Right.
Additional stuff. So it'll be $4,000 more than what I'm paying. So that's a lot. That's $300 something extra. Because where you have the house note or whatever. So it'll go into escrow.
Right.
But that's $300 extra a month that I got to come up with while I'm losing money everywhere else. And for them to flippantly tell me that there's a silver lining and everything else, they can't relate. They don't understand. Hunter's in charge of the town. The town selectmen are not in charge based on the way that he said, you will have to vote to stop me. He said that. I'm not exaggerating that. That's, the wording might be off a little bit, but his intent was you have to make a vote to stop me from joining the FAA, which I find weird that we would give the authority to the town manager to change up our relationships in that manner. And, and I'm sure there's probably something where they have given him some authorities, but he's very emotionally attached to this FAA thing. He wasn't looking at it from because he's not the public. He doesn't live in this town. He doesn't have a say other than the fact that he can say, hey, this is a $2 million. You're going to end up saving, $40,000 over the next 3 years if we do this. That's the cost savings, but then, there are some downsides because now you're inviting more bureaucracy. That's the way someone who's not emotionally attached to it would have briefed it. He didn't brief it that way. He's emotionally attached to it. I'm disappointed in all the selectmen because they all kowtowed to him and gave him that authority. So he's just going to run done with that now, like any of us would, that because now he's in control. He's in charge. They're not in charge. That was very clear with that whole FAA thing, that the town selectmen are not really in charge and aren't making the decisions on our behalf for the town to keep Newport, because that's what makes us so special. And this is just one more thing now to where we're giving authority to the federal government when we've been just fine without it. I got it that there's some costs and everything else, but you have the experts who've been volunteering to do their time telling you not to do it, giving you people to call. They didn't say, oh, let's hold off on this because there's another meeting. Let's call up some of these other airports and verify what, because Hunter gave one example. They gave one or two examples themselves. So you got two examples, one saying no big deal, the other one saying like, no, it's like, don't join the FAA. And none of them said, all right, let's hold off on this and let's make some phone calls on behalf of the town to make sure we're doing the right thing. So that disappointed me. It disappointed me with their flippant, the silver linings, your house is worth more. I got that my house is worth more, but it's not worth as much as they're claiming. And so, and they sent out a poorly written letter that we paid a lot of money for. And for Paul Brown to take responsibility for that, why is he sending that out if we paid them that much money? Like, why does he have to take responsibility for that? So anyway, that's my take on last night's stuff as a citizen of the great town of Newport. I appreciate you letting me call in today, Bubba.
Oh, no problem. All right.
It sounds like you got a Lydia there filling in for me nicely, though.
Yeah, well, she's only here today, so it'll be just me for the rest of the week probably. So, we'll definitely every day we'll touch base with you, and it'll make it easier for me. And plus, there's some things on here that I want to talk about, but I need your input to really. It won't be
okay. All right.
It won't be the same without it. So. There's some interesting things, but yeah. All right. Well, you stay safe today, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.
Have a safe trip.
All right. Have a good one. Thank you. Talk to y'all soon.
All right, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Well, that was Steve Morris, Citizen Steve Morris. Let's make sure we say that because that's important. Yeah, he's pretty upset, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't blame him.
No, I don't. I mean, so it is he's one of the. He's the only one in town, from what I understood, that had a tax increase that was insane like
Bizarre.
that. But the rest of them obviously went up. So everyone's taxes has gone up. But the whole theory behind the whole reval isn't supposed to be that your taxes were going to go up. It's just a reassessment, and so they'll adjust the tax rate. You're supposed to pay the same amount of taxes, but they'll lower the rate to make that work. And they're just trying to sell it as something it's not. But at the end of the day, your taxes have gone up, not down. And you can now say, oh, we're not the fifth highest taxes in the state just because the rate dropped, but you're still paying the exact same amount. So
Crazy.
It's just smoke and mirrors, as I said last night. But it is what it is. So there's only a short period of time. I think there's like 3 days or something where you actually can file an appeal to talk to the company that set this and say, hey, listen, you've got my house assessed at something it's not, because Barry Connell, who's one of the selectmen, had said that they just drove in his driveway, said hi to him, and left. So they're not actually going in your house looking at anything. They're just doing it that way. So make sure. They may have you down for having 3 bathrooms. You have 2. They may have you, who knows what they have you at. So that's the first step. Reach out with that. But there's a short window to do that. That's really short. So if you're upset about it, make the phone call and see if there's something you can do to change it. And if you're one of the very, very few people in town that taxes went down, well, congratulations. That's good for you. So Richard's annual cleanup day. We want to welcome all community members to join us for our second annual school cleanup day on Thursday, August 18th from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. So this Thursday. They must be doing a cleanup, and I don't know what that entails exactly, but I saw it on the Facebook page, and I said, well, we'll let our listeners know if you're out there and you're interested. There's that. And then Summercrest Senior Living, which opened in 1998. It was the creation of 4 local business owners who believed that Newport needed a place where its seniors could enjoy retirement with support. And sadly, on August 5th, Vern Violet has passed away. And anyone that's lived in Newport for a long time knows Vern, Eastone, Violet's Market, big member of the community, and tremendous loss for our community. Ours was told that, unlike most senior facilities, if in Summercrest, if the residents' money was to run out and they couldn't afford to live there, Vern didn't kick you out on the street. You got to live there. And so that's a huge loss to the whole Violet family. And I definitely wanted to mention that because he was a vital part of our community. So thoughts and prayers to the family and to Summercrest. And I'm sure they'll keep doing the things they've been doing up there for years to kind of honor his name and going forward with that. So Farmers Market every Friday on the Common.
day.
Every Friday on the Common, 3 to 6. And the last concert on the Common
Sunday,
this Sunday,
6 to 8.
JJ's Music. So, and he's pretty good, so check that out. All right, meme of the day. Snoopy and Charlie Brown. I knew playing in red baseball caps was a mistake. And the FBI is raiding it. So the red baseball caps is just alluding to the MAGA hats, Make America Great Again, which are red. So
Great.
it's pretty funny.
It is.
It is. Oops, not that one yet. So, a couple little stories before we wrap the show up. These are national stories. This one I found very funny. 55 pounds of cocaine found floating off the Florida Keys.
Crazy.
Like, can you imagine? So, over the weekend, Key West police and Monroe County Sheriff's Office reported that 25 bricks of narcotics were found floating 50 miles offshore near Coconut Mallory Marina in Florida. Can you imagine losing
55 pounds.
Yeah.
Half of my weight.
Yeah, half your weight in cocaine. Someone's in a lot of trouble, whoever lost this. But they said that it's reported value. Let's see. Now they're jumping all around here, talking about all this. They've lost, I think, around $1 million.
Jeez.
It's crazy. Can you imagine that, though? Imagine you're out on vacation, you just see this stuff floating up, and you're like, wonder what this is.
Oh, that'd be crazy.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. Yeah. So then this is the one I was telling Steve about because...
It's crazy. My age, basically.
Yeah. So a 14-year-old girl in foster care records a video of the Child Protective Services employee telling her to become a prostitute, basically to provide for her family. And
get food and everything so she has money.
And I may mention this again on the show tomorrow so I can talk to Steve a little bit about it. But so Alex Jones, who runs InfoWars, he got sued by the family of Sandy Hook because he basically said it wasn't real, it didn't happen, okay? The judge, who used to work for Child Protective Services in Houston, Texas, I believe, or in Texas, he called her out because of the things with Child Protective Services. So, I mean, not smart to go after the judge that's overseeing a case that you're on. I mean, that'd be the first thing. However, here's a perfect example right here of a Child Protective Services employee telling a patient or a client, I guess you'd say, to become a prostitute.
And she's 14.
And she is supposed to be protecting that child.
Making sure nothing happens to her.
Yeah, so I certainly hope this woman is fired.
Yeah.
She should be prosecuted, honestly, but...
Good thing she took a video.
Yeah, so there's a video of it. Crazy. Completely nuts.
She's literally my age.
Yeah, she's your age, just a smidge older than you.
Not much.
Not much at all.
And it's to provide food for her.
Yeah, that they're supposed to be helping this family out, and to go sell yourself into, I just can't believe
That's crazy.
It is. And
She's giving herself away.
We were going through so many of the stories today, and it was just like story after story of things like this, or teachers doing inappropriate things with with students.
2 years, he's repeated, whatever it's called.
Repeated, yeah. I didn't even want to get into all these stories on the show because it was just story after story of it, which makes me wonder what the hell is going on in our schools, that this is happening. You guys go to school to learn, and not to be groomed by teachers or anybody, and be taught stuff that's just not appropriate to be teaching you. You know, it's unbelievable. Last little thing we'll talk about is the Department of Justice asked the judge to keep the Mar-a-Lago affidavit sealed to preserve its ongoing criminal investigation. So they raided Mar-a-Lago, which is where Trump lives.
Yeah.
And it's like a golf resort or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's a sealed warrant to raid his house, which I've never even heard of a sealed warrant. There's sealed stuff all the time, but not a warrant. So the warrant would say what they're searching for.
Yeah.
But now the Department of Justice first said that Trump was lying and everything, but now Trump said, I want you to release the warrant. I want everyone to see the warrant because it will say on there what you're searching for. And now the Department of Justice is saying, well, to preserve our criminal investigation, we don't want anyone to know what it is. So I think the Department of Justice has been caught, obviously.
They're scared.
Yeah, because they're going after Trump for political reasons and not for any sort of crime, clearly, because they would say,
obviously didn't find anything.
Yes, and if Trump did something wrong, they would be like, yeah, we were there to search for
Blank.
And how would that...
They want to look good, not bad.
Right. So I don't trust the Department of Justice or the FBI for anything.
They're crazy.
Apparently. All right, so you're going away.
Yes, I am.
Are you excited?
Yeah, a little bit. It's not for the car ride. It's a 2-hour car ride.
I think it's more than that.
I think 2 in 2 hours and 45 minutes.
Yeah, it's almost 3 hours.
Yeah.
It'll be fun when you get there, though. You're gone
Yeah.
how many days are you gone for?
4 or 5. 3 or 4.
3 or 4. So you're either coming back, what, Friday or Saturday? Or
Thursday.
Thursday or Friday, yeah. Well, that'll be fun.
Yeah.
Well, you have fun. Thanks for coming in for 2 days and joining
You're
this
welcome.
craziness. Don't get eaten by a shark.
I won't. I'm not scared. I'm telling you. If I was scared, I'd be scared.
Right, but you can not be scared of a shark and still get eaten by a shark. It doesn't work that way.
But still, I could just be standing on shore having my feet in the water.
Yeah, just don't go up past like your knees. Great white's too big; they won't come in and get
I can go to my waist.
Well, make sure you're watching for shark fins. You see a fin, you know it's a shark.
It's fake.
No,
Just kidding.
You wait. You'll see signs down there that says beware.
I know, but I'm not scared. If I see someone get eaten by a shark, maybe I will be. I won't be scared. I'll just get out of the water. It's not that bad.
So just if you're in the water, then have Paige wear a seal costume. So that way she doesn't go, like they don't go after you. Then you'll know.
That's so mean.
Nah, I'm just kidding.
We'll throw a puffer fish in. We'll catch a puffer fish and go plop.
Or bring like a blow up seal and stick that off to like 100 yards from you, and then go in the water. So it's like a decoy.
Yeah, if you buy it. Those things are probably like $50.
That's true.
Not cheap.
You have to get good video though for the show. It'd be like, look at this, a great
Look
white.
at this. I got eaten by a shark.
Yes.
Paige will send it to you because I'll be dead.
No. No. All right, this isn't really Positive Mutant Day, but I'm positive this is going to be true. So here is the IRS's new uniforms coming soon. Yeah, that looks like old school Nazis right there. Yeah. Have you seen the story? You know what the IRS is, right?
Yeah.
They're the tax people.
Yeah, I know.
Do you think tax people need guns?
Why?
Well, yeah, exactly. That's what I'm like legit asking you. Do you think the IRS needs to arm their tax people? Because they're they're hiring 85,000 new people, more people, and then their ad said basically that you need to be, they're going to train you in potentially use of deadly force. I've never known a tax agent that needed the deadly force before.
Yeah,
Sounds kind of weird, doesn't it?
yeah, just a little bit.
Kind of sounds like they're going to come like
Attack us.
take your money at gunpoint. Is that what it is?
Yeah,
Huh. It's interesting.
very.
It is. All right.
You needed guns to protect yourself. Well, take your money.
Yeah, I didn't
basically.
think. I don't see how the IRS needs that. Very interesting. All right, guys. Thank you again for watching. definitely check out on NCTV. They'll have the the selectmen meeting last night. Check that out. It was a long meeting. A lot of back and forth, especially about the airport and the SRO. But yeah, if you listen closely, you can easily tell the things I mentioned on the show about was Jim Burrows lying, was Chief Hunter lying, was Chief Wilmot lying, or was Town Manager Hunter lying. I guess you'll have to figure that out for yourself. But if we don't see you around town, we'll talk to you tomorrow. Thanks for watching.
Thanks.
Say bye.
Bye.
Hope it don't be shark bait.
I'm not gonna be sure.
Have a good one.